Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into my little story time about the first time I got into a fight. So I'm gonna give a little backstory. We're gonna back it up by like about 2-3 months. But anyway, everything in the story took place my freshman year of college. I don't know when I'll post this video. Maybe it might be a better idea to post this video after I graduate from this little institution of mine. But what should I call this girl? I'm gonna call this girl who I had this altercation, this little confrontation. I was like, do I really want to call it a physical altercation? I'll call this girl Miss Dang. So I used to be friends with little Miss Dang back in the day when we were freshmen. She was not that nice either. Like, she bossed me around. I don't know if it was because like I wasn't like so outspoken then or anything, or I was just a bit too timid, or I don't know, or maybe it was because people got into her head, because she could have been like a really popular girl in our grade, but she wasn't really that popular. But she could have been. She was kind of popular because like all the guys wanted her. Like, she had a huge fan club of like 20 plus members of dudes from like freshman class to like graduate level. She was low Miss Dang. So I don't know if it was because of that, and nobody was checking for me or anything, so I was like an ugly duckling or something. I don't know, but I guess that's why she treated me the way she did. That's why so but anyways, so it was about September, October. She throws a sandwich in my face in the cafeteria. It was a crowded cafeteria. The cafeteria was crowded, but I don't think anyone was watching. I hope not. But yeah, she threw a sandwich in my face because I made a comment about her love life. I didn't say anything bad. I was just speaking the truth. I mean, you can't run away from the truth, right? So people always hate it when I say the truth, but whatever. It wasn't like talking shit either, but she just threw a sandwich in my face. At that point, I could have fought her, because everyone else was like, yo, like, what she did was messed up. Like, throwing a sandwich in my face. Like, I should have hit her in the face, because it was like in my face and it got into my hair, my little weave. It was my first weave. She got like mayonnaise in my first weave. Like, I was upset, but I just got up and walked away. Like, I remember being shocked. Like, I walked all the way back to my seat because I was upset. We lived in 2 different buildings at that time. But so she just lived in like the regular freshman dorm. To the actual story, about 2-3 months later, we planned on, it was like just the 2 of us, we planned on turning up with, well, we didn't know who, so we pretty much did all the planning in her room when I got there. Long story short, we didn't even really turn up. Like, we just hung out with another member of her fan club. I remember just walking around with them to try to find like a Durham party, but that ended up being a huge fail. So they ended up just going outside to smoke and talk, and we were there with them, but we didn't smoke. We don't smoke. Like, I don't like smoking. Smoking is not cute. No. Say no to drugs, guys. But anyways, that was funny. Say no to drugs. Oh my god. But what happened? Like, oh, okay. But anyways, long story short, that ended up being a fail, because I got bored. Like, I don't turn up with just smoking. Like, I don't do that. And I actually brought like my tote bag with me, and it had alcohol in it, and I actually left it in her room. I didn't take it with me because I expected to, like, oh yeah, I brought that bottle of liquor with me to her room anyway, so I could like pregame in her room before we find a place to like party at, because I expected to go to a dorm where there was already alcohol provided and everything, but that didn't even happen. That was BS. So I wasted some of my own vodka for no reason. While we were both pretty much ready to leave, she didn't even give me a heads up like, oh yeah, I'm leaving now or anything. she just started pacing. So I'm like calling out behind her, like, yo, wait up. Like, she didn't turn back, look at me or anything. That girl took me for a ride that night. Like, I went through a maze. Like, we were going down the stairwell. Her building was pretty much on the other side of the second building. It was wild. She was just going down stairwells, going down different corridors. Like, she went into a random ass floor and she was just walking in it, up in whatever. I'm like behind her. I was like a few feet away from her. She just kept going. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she wanted to play hide and seek. She could have told me that she wanted to play hide and seek. I would have told her no though. Anyway, because it was like 1 a.m. at that time. Eventually, I lose her. Because I wasn't like as chubby as I was back then. Well, as I am now. So, it's not like, I got tired, or whatever. I was up for the challenge. But eventually, I lost her. Like, completely lost her. She was out of sight. I went to the other side of that dorm complex. I knocked on her door to see if she was in there. She wasn't in there. I guess she wasn't in there. So I just like wait for her. Then I'm like, yo, let me just wait a bit and knock again, and then and then eventually I just sat down and tried waiting for her. Texting her, calling her, waiting for her to see if she'll pick up, to see if she'll pop up out of nowhere. She never came out of like the other exit doors to like go to her room with me or anything so I could leave. All my stuff was like in there. Like my swipe to go back to my room was in there. Like I was pretty much stuck in her dorm. Afterwards, I go downstairs because our other friend lived right beneath her. I knocked on her door to see if she was in there. She wasn't in there. So that girl started calling her and she didn't get a reply, just as I didn't get any replies from her. And afterwards, I go back upstairs to her room, to see where her room is, kind of like outside of her room. I knocked on her door and then she didn't knock on her door, okay? I went to like the room of one of her fan club members because he was like in the room before I was there, but she wasn't. He told me she wasn't, so I'm like, okay, whatever. That's when I went back to that other building, that other dorm building where our other friends lived. She wasn't there either, of course. So they tried calling her, like everyone tried calling her. At that point, it was like 4 people calling her to like find out where she at. Probably been at least an hour after she dipped on me at that point. So we all calling her. We all grouped together. We calling her, trying to figure out where she at. She doesn't reply to any of our calls or messages. We all go back to her room. We all knocking on her door.
And that's when she decides to open the door. Like, really?
When everyone's there, that's when you want to open the door for somebody? And then this girl comes out with her sweatpants. She looked like she just changed. Sweatpants, everything, like sweatshirt, little jacket, rubbing her eyes. She was rubbing her eyes, talking about she was sleeping, yawning, talking about she was sleeping. She didn't hear anybody. Like, I was banging on her door. You were really sleeping? Like, if I was banging on your door, you could have heard me. That girl's not a heavy sleeper. She heard me. She knew damn well she heard me, if she was even in that room the whole time. But yeah, I just remember at that point, when she opened the door, I was like, really? Really, bitch? Really? Okay, I probably didn't say all that. I probably did, actually. But I don't recall. This was like 3 years ago. But I remember being loud, okay? I was being loud. I'm surprised, not really I'm surprised. Because people who were, like, on that floor, they probably went to a real party somewhere. So, because I was making a lot of commotion. Surprised the RA didn't come out. I had like a little water bottle of liquor, vodka, just pretty much looked just like this, in my tote bag. And I just remember screaming at her and yelling. It was like 2 a.m. at that point. I was just screaming. I was upset. I was mad as hell. Like, I was pissed off. Getting my tote bag from underneath her bed. which had the liquor in it, which had the bottle of liquor in there. And as I was like leaving, I was like, bitch. Do it in her face. I wasn't small. I did not stick my tongue out. But like that shit went in her eyes. It is what it is. I knew what was coming for me. So she like lunged at me. And we started scrapping a bit. But it was a bit. Like it was really a bit. Thank God we didn't get caught. We were like legit in the middle of the hallway fighting for like a few seconds. All she did was knock over my glasses. She didn't hit me. Like I didn't feel nothing from that girl. I remember her doing that. That was my first fight, kind of. That was the last time I had a fight too. Like, I don't fight. I could, but I don't fight. Tell me what you think in the comments. Okay, and I think that's it. That's my video. Thanks for watching.